I'm in love. Thank God it's Friday. You're expecting me to scream. Rara, I'm not screaming today. I came here with a soft, what's that word they use now? With a soft vibe. I'm not here to scream down or shout down this place. You know it's Friday already. It's a sunny Friday, so what am I screaming for? Anyway, how you doing today? How's your mind? How's your body and how is your soul? My name is Dennis Wall, one and only of Nigeria in 5FM. Somebody said I go love. My dear, what is not to love about love in the first place? We are loving people up and down. Anyway, how you doing? I'm very concerned about how you're doing. My conversation today is centered around love. But not just love, as it were. If you listen to the artist, by the way, his name is Chella, and the title of the song is Ife. The song talks about how he's been searching, but when he found her, the search ended, and he knows that indeed he's in love. But have you ever hear people say things like, he or she is not my spec or my standard, but I can always change or mold him or her to my standard. And you wonder whether they are God that declared in Genesis 1 verse 26, "Come now, let us make man in our own image and in our likeness." So I was seated at a service sometime in the year 2015. And this was because I had to make a very hard decision. I think it was 2016. I had to make a very, very hard decision. It was a decision of a life partner. And seated in that service, the man of God was preaching a message. And you know how you go to church and you just say, right on side. It was like that word was for me. And he said that sometimes when sisters come to him or when brothers come to him and they try to seek his opinion and counsel on who to marry. They come and they present two brothers. They say, this one, he has money, he has fashion sense, he's doing well for himself, he speaks well and all of that. However, he's not spiritual, gung. Whereas there is brother... I don't want to use any now before they say I've got somebody say. There's brother so and so who doesn't know how to dress. He shows up like a fireman. Red socks, green belt, green shirt, lemon trouser. What else did he say? Purple pocket filler. Doesn't know how to dress. However, he's filled with the Spirit. The Lord is upon him and all of that. He's good and all that and all that. And then the pastor says, what he usually tells them is that one that you think that didn't know how to dress, you can help them. By the time you marry them, you can help them. When they're in the bathroom taking a shower, do you know how to dress? Is the question you ask. Do you want to dress? Good. If you know how to dress, not a problem. You bring out the trouser, matching shirt, matching shoe, matching belt, matching everything. You lay it on the bed or you lay it on wherever you lay it, and the person would see it. And the person will dress up, but before you know it, he's not a fireman anymore. He will now have steeze and composure and blah. The same thing for the woman. She does not like to rub lipstick. She just likes to do Mary Amaka stuff. But is she a good person? Good. When you marry her, you will buy, fine fitted clothes. You buy her small lip gloss, small eye pencil, small this, small that. And then you take her to the salon. You buy her wig, you tell her, babe, this hairstyle will fit you and all of that. And I was just shaking my head. I said, is it not if the person will agree? Molding your partner to your standard. Molding. Like, you're the one that will now start doing all these things for this person. And it will be very much dependent on whether or not the person is receptive towards what they call change, because for some people change is not in their dictionary. Ganga cannot change them. They are static like this, as it was in the beginning. That's how they are. But couples go through many different stages when they get together, and one of these stage is the molding stage. This is where you have your own expectations of what you want your partner to be, and you try to mold them to fit in with what is essentially a made-up person. It's all this that points that you both try to change each other subtly, to fit in with your relationship and partner ideals. What then is the ideal thing to do? Wait for the standard or mold to your standard. You wait for the guy that is nicely put together, that has all of the features, clean haircuts, nice fragrance. He matches colors together. He knows where to put when to wear a hat, how to combine a brown shoe and a brown belt, a black shoe, when to wear sneakers, what to wear sneakers with. Or the one that you have to be taking to the barber shop, say, please, this hairstyle I gave you, cut him that style. That is the style now, please. I don't need any issue. I need him to be looking cute. The one that is already put together, organized, or the one that you get into the house and you see shoe on the TV, you see belts hanging by the door. You probably will find the singlet on top of the kitchen cabinet or something. Should you wait to see your standard, your ideal partner, your spec ahead? That's the one that we are very conversant with. That's what, your spec, gang. Or do you mold the one you find to your standard? Is it easy to mold? Are you a potter? Is it easy to mold people? I mean, for those of you who have ever attempted to, I used to like my woman to wear this type of thing. I used to like my woman to do this type of thing. I used to like my woman to walk this type of way. I used to like my woman to do like this. I used to like my woman to behave in this said manner. I used to like my man to be like this. I used to like my man. I like my men or my man. That's the standard of man I'm talking about. It has to be like this. It has to be tall. I mean, there are certain things that you cannot. If you cannot expect a short person to become tall. There's no. You cannot. I don't think there's any surgery to increase height and reduce height. But then there are things that you think you can do. How about you just leave the person, or go ahead and mold the person? Leave the person, wait for your standard, while someone else who is okay with that person's standard comes for them. What do you think? 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Once again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-0306416. Again, 0809-0306416. On X, we are at Nigeria Info PH, and Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. X at Nigeria Info PH, Facebook page 92.3 Nigeria Info PH. A call screener is in standby to take your calls first before passing on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you would hear will not be my voice, but of course that of a call screener. Let's hear from Daniel. I don't know where Daniel is calling from. Okay, Daniel is calling from Imo. Hi, Daniel. Welcome to the sunny side. You're welcome, Daniel.
Well, the topic on discussion, there is no 100% of the spec that you want. But I wish that people should go to their own class. That is, in terms of class, educational background, and then in terms of wealth as well. Know your class. There's no perfect human being. This is the reason why in marriage, or even courtship or whatever, there's a bit of tolerance. You have to tolerate the other. some parts that you can make it work because you can't get 100%.
Because you can't get 100%. I think it was the network that disconnected Daniel from Imo Gate. UO Ventures is watching live on Facebook, and the response is, if I didn't see, I mold. If I didn't see, I mold. Denise, trust me, you can never mold your partner to your taste. Rather, you must become accommodating. The phrase my spec exists only in boyfriend and girlfriend things. I love ladies with a heavy backside, but thanks to God, I am married to a little backside lady. You can only mold children and not adults. Chike from Woji. Well, I know someone who I know the person. It's not they said. Nobody told me. I think he likes, that thing you just talked about. However, the lady he eventually fell in love with didn't have it. At some point, they had to go for some surgery. Yes. Just a little bit. It was not that obvious. But those of us that knew her before, we knew that something had changed. Would that be classified as molding as well? Because he could afford it? For him, it was the aesthetics. The fact that when you behold your woman dressed in a particular outfit, you can be like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. Between the both of them, they know what is real and what is not. But does it satisfy his idea of having a woman that had that kind of? Well, the answer is yes. And they're together. And yes, he could afford it. And they are currently together. And they seem happy. Some form of modification and all of that. Would every man accept it? Well, for some men, they say, oh, I found the one. But this one, I used to like them big. This one is all big. But then when they want to do things outside the home, they go for that their spec. So the woman they eventually end up with is not necessarily their spec. But they have a way of getting their spec for whatever they need the spec for. But why? Why bother? Why not just wait for your spec? There's something that some men like. They like a woman that is big in terms of size. So if you were a palanga when they married you, they do all they can to ensure that you start eating and eating and eating until you become a robber. Why? It's that mentality that they are feeding you well. But guess what? When they want to cheat, they end up with the palanga ones. So what's the point? Braid from Old GRA, welcome to the sunny side.
Yes, so greetings to Miss Dennis Model.
Greetings to you too.
Yes, I don't think you can mold to get 100% spec that you want, because that person has already been molded for a very long time. Yes, as a boyfriend and girlfriend, you may have the spec. Even as at that, it shouldn't be total 100%. As husband and wife, yes, if you are a graduate, for instance, and you met undergraduate, yes, you can follow her up to become a graduate or OND. You can follow the person up to become a graduate. And whatever quality that is not in that person, you will try your possible best to ensure that that person has it. But you mind you are not God. It's only God that can bring up such a person to 100%. Because whatever that has not been deposited in that person, you will always and the person resist. The person who don't want that from you. What would happen? You will leave it at that point. So there is no way you can mold a person who has our turn down. So there are some you will try, there are some there is nothing you can do. You have to leave it at that point.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Braid. Real Gift from Port Harcourt. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good afternoon to you, Lady D2W.
Good afternoon to you, too.
Thank you. Like you asked the question, is a person go do one mold on a reporter? Even a reporter in a book. Right, not be molding. But for me, I don't think you can mold at that point in time. What you do is to reform.
Reform?
That's just to brush the rough edges to suit what you want at that point in time. Because like you talked about the issue of dressing, sometimes the person's character of maybe in terms of drink and what have you. Those ones, if both of you are compatible with each other, you can reform that person on that angle from reduction to maybe complete stoppage or from 10 to 1. You understand my point? It cannot be as if I wicked to say stop complete. And so also, it could also go on the other side of the divide. It's based on the understanding. Because if you want to do it as though it's a imposition, just like you asked, will the person want to? If the person doesn't want, like they say, if you drag a horse to the river and the horse don't want drink, you go force them to drink the water. There are some persons that believe that this, what they believe in, is the best, and they want to remain with it. And that's where understanding comes in. You talk to the person first, then from there, you start. It's not just on that. Also, in terms of the other side of life, I believe you understand what I'm talking about now. That's this afternoon radio. On the other side also, if this side has fallen short of glory, there is a way you, from discussion to, you can upgrade. You understand? So for me, it's reformation, not molding. Because at that point in time, molding. I am expecting that already.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I've been listening to the conversation. There is no need to build anything when it comes to women. See, let me tell you something about men. Most men, especially Nigerian men, they are adventurous. Men are adventurous. If you like, they have the front, have the back, they have the height, they will still go out. You understand? They want to, if you allow men will want to taste everybody they see, everybody around them. They want to taste it. That's why you see even the house help that's in the house. You see the man, you see his wife, beautiful, have everything, rich and all that, educated. But sometimes they leave them and they go to the house help. Why do you think they go to the house help? You see the house help that he don't even have anything. Sometimes no back, no front. But they go to the house help. That is the thing. So men are insatiable.
So they are
never satisfied. If you like, do whatever you want to do for them. Change your body. For me, I don't even like it when you go to the doctor and then you begin to change your body. Do some those things have some kind of implications. They have health implications. So for me, my advice to men is be the way you are, be yourself, no matter what they say, because no matter how you are, how you look, man will always go outside to enjoy himself because he is adventurous. It's the nature of man. By nature, man is polygamous. Thank you.
Ha! Beyond physical looks, so I mean, beyond, yes. Lawson said, no matter how you look, they will still end up with one domestic help and all of that. But beyond physical looks, yeah, you see somebody who is cheating and you look at the person's partner and the partner is so fine and you're like, what do men really want? What do women really want? But it goes beyond aesthetics. I mean, for some people, it's the way your voice sounds. Yes! There's a kind of voice I want to be hearing when I'm talking to my partner. There's a way I want the voice to sound. It cannot be sounding different. If it sounds like that and you are a good person and you are fine and you probably tick all the boxes, that voice that I'm hearing may not be it. Yes! That is how it is for some people. Oh, so people like the way Jude's voice sound. If the man they end up with is not sounding like Jude or sounding close to Jude, it's not their spec. The spec is not specking. Some people like the way Constance sounds. If it's not the way Constance's voice is, they cannot. Some people want partners that can sing. Yes, that one join. They want the ones that can sing. You see the way this artist that I play his music now. Imagine the kind of rhythm and blues the girlfriend or the wife will be enjoying. Having someone that would just put up a show. There's something about the way we're doing falsetto and the rest of them. That's their spec. So tick all the boxes. Be fine. Spirit-filled. Authoritative. This one, that one. As long as your voice is not sounding like a cello that sing a fair, you have not make it to their standard. I mean, do you start now registering such a person for music class? Just so that the voice can now sound... You understand what I'm saying? Some people have the accent. Once they speak, you just know this person is from this tribe. And you don't want somebody that has an accent. However, the person ticks every other thing. Now, I mean, one of the messages I read said accommodate. You cannot mold, but accommodate. But then, I want to be hearing Celine Dion's voice when you're talking to me. I want to be listening to, what's this guy now? Sam Smith's voice when you're talking to me. You see, I want to be hearing a little bit of, and I can't get it from you. Then I just step out and I hear someone that speaks that way. And I start doing what? Again, I ask. Wait for that one gang. That is your standard. That is your ideal partner. That is your spec, ganga. Or more the one you find. Out of how many? I've done, what's it called now? I've reduced the list. 20 applicants. We've been able to downsize to like 5, reduce to like 5. Out of these 5, we've brought it down to like 3. Out of these 3, these 2 are looking like this one. I'm sure if I do a little touch up on her, or if I do a little touch up on him, if I can be taking him to the salon, if I can be taking him for diction and elocution classes, maybe in no distant time he'll start sounding like Ramsey Noah. Who knows? 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. You can never change an adult. You are not the Holy Spirit. Look for your standard. Don't come and be disturbing someone's son or daughter. Jesse from Port Harcourt. Even if God give the Nigerian woman an opportunity to create their own life partner, believe me, after some months into the marriage, they'll go and ask God that they have made a mistake in giving their husband big stomach. That God should give them second chance to reduce the man's stomach. All this man and woman matter don't tire me. NS from Woji. So if the one where God don't mold no day enough, now the one where go mold go blend. DDW, I'm not the potter. If you don't come promoted, I'm sorry, I cannot help you. I rest my case. Simply goodness from Malakaya. Mr. Lawson, speak for yourself. Not all men, please. Prophet Sameya C. Fine, but say, greetings, DDW. A wise man won't sacrifice his peace of mind on the altar of spec. What we call spec is superficial, while peace of mind is soulish, hence a priority. I also understand that men don't marry to fulfill the desire for spec. Good afternoon, Didi. Molding or creating an adult to your spec is a mounting task. I will accommodate her and let her understand my standards. It's up to her to be receptive if she loves me. I will assist her in the process and not force her because she too has a personality. Changing or transforming an adult without the person's will is fraudulent and arrogant. Big Decent from Okrika. Alright? Yeah, from Okrika. Alright, this one says, it is insulting and a mark of arrogance to want to be molding human beings. I recall a pest that called himself a suitor who said he knew I wasn't his type, but he would mold me to what he wants. So I didn't hide the fact that I'm a feminist who believes in equal rights. He was looking for a submissive religious woman, but he didn't want to find his type and leave me for the kind of man that is looking for or doesn't mind a feminist. I laughed at his delusion and presumption. I asked him if he thought that even if he could jazz or trick me into marriage. if I'll let him father my children. If Nigerian men know how easy it is for women to cheat on men we don't love, some men will be too afraid to even talk to a woman that is not truly interested. I married my spec, but I didn't realize when we met that he's my spec. For me, one thing, we met as children, so I was not looking for man at the time. For another, I didn't know what my spec was. M&B told me my spec was supposed to be tall, dark, and handsome. And that confused me because no two guys that I like or dated have been the same physically. It puzzled me till I took time to compare pics of my now husband to all the men I've ever dated or been interested in or even had a crush on. And I saw a particular facial feature that all of them share. So I was like, I get it now. That's the first thing I notice or find attractive in a man's face. While marriage is more than facial features, I can't honestly say I would never have married a man without that particular facial feature. But in other ways too, he's definitely my spec. He's good for my soul, for my nervous system, my heart, and my career. And not him must send that in. Someone says you need a rib cracker. Please, don't accuse me of what I know nothing of. All right, so we go on the news break for trending stories. Thereafter, we have... maybe I'll come back and wrap up this conversation before the live appearance. Who knows? It depends on how much time we have left. But for all of you who've been a part of the conversation so far, thank you so much for being a part of it. It's still the sunny side on 92.3 Nigeria, and for stay tuned.